You know, some stories, they just feel true because on some level, we want them to be. They hint at something bigger, these mysteries that just don't have an easy answer. Today, we are going deep, deep into the Canadian North to look into one of its most chilling and long-lasting legends. It's the story of a village that one day simply wasn't there anymore. So let's set the scene. It's November 1930 at Angikuni Lake in what's now the territory of Nunavut. You have to understand this was a place of incredible, profound isolation. I mean, imagine a silence so complete you can actually hear the blood pumping in your ears. A cold that just sinks right into your bones. For the Inuit people who lived there, this was life. For our story, well, it's the perfect stage for an impossible mystery. Okay, so first, let's just go through the legend itself. The story as it's been passed down for almost 100 years now. And this isn't just some spooky campfire tale, This story has been told and retold in books, in articles, even in documentaries. And with every telling, it seems to get just a little bit more unsettling. It pretty much always starts the same way, with a man named Joe LaBelle. He's a fur trapper, making his way through the wilderness, looking for a familiar place to get out of that biting wind. He knows this village. He's been there before. But as he gets closer, he feels it. This eerie quiet hangs over everything. There's no kids playing, no dogs barking, not even the smell of smoke from the fires. Just this heavy, unnatural silence. So he calls out, nothing. The wind is the only thing that answers him back. He starts checking the tents, one by one, and finds every single one empty. An entire community, and depending on who's telling the story, it could be 30 people, or some versions claim it was over 1,000, had just vanished, as if they were just plucked right off the face of the earth. But here's the thing. This wasn't just a case of people packing up and leaving, because what Joe LaBelle supposedly found next, well, this is what turns the story from a simple disappearance into something deeply, deeply weird. The scene he walked into wasn't one of panic or a fast getaway. It was like a photograph of daily life, just frozen in time. And just look at the details here. They don't make any sense. Pots of stew were sitting over fire pits, frozen completely solid, as if everyone just stopped eating mid-meal. But then why would they run off into the brutal Arctic winter without their rifles? Their only way to hunt, their only protection. It gets worse. The village's sled dogs, absolutely essential for survival and travel, were found still tied to the trees, having starved to death. And maybe the most disturbing part of all, the nearby ancestral graves had been opened, and they were empty. So you're left with this completely impossible picture. A village of people who disappear, leaving their food, their weapons, and even their dead ancestors behind. What could possibly explain that? I mean, people have guessed everything from alien abduction to some kind of evil spirit, because none of the clues point to any kind of logical answer. It's the perfect, terrifying mystery. But what if the real mystery isn't what happened, but if anything happened at all? All right, so to really figure this out, we have to push past the legend. We have to look for some kind of primary source. I mean, an event this huge, an entire village just disappearing off the map, that would have to be officially documented somewhere, right? And the people who would have done that documenting would have been the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And this is it, the official annual report of the RCMP from 1930. This isn't some sensational newspaper article or a secondhand account. This is the official, comprehensive record of everything the Mounties did across all of Canada for that year. If there was an investigation at Angikuni Lake, this is where we'd find it. Now, this report is hundreds of pages long. It details absolutely everything you can imagine, from who got promoted to the long, hard northern patrols to every single criminal investigation. It's actually a pretty amazing look at what it was like to police this massive country a century ago. And it's that incredible level of detail that makes it the most important piece of evidence in this whole puzzle. And they really do record everything. I mean, the report lists out specific cases: a deadly fight, a murder, arson for hire schemes, drug busts way out in Vancouver. They even document the long patrols they took by canoe and dog sled into the most remote parts of the Arctic. They wrote it all down. So where's the report about the entire vanished village at Angikuni? We went through the entire 1930 report. And just to be absolutely sure, we went through the 1931 report too. The result? Nothing. Total silence. There is absolutely no mention of a trapper named Joe LaBelle, no report of a missing village, no investigation at Angikuni Lake, no starved dogs, no empty graves, nothing. The one official place this incredible story should be is completely, utterly blank. Well, that changes everything, doesn't it? The mystery that we started with, what happened to all those people at Angikuni Lake, is suddenly gone. And it's replaced by a much deeper and maybe even more interesting question. It turns out the entire foundation of this famous, terrifying legend seems to be built on, well, nothing. There's no official trace, no police file, no verifiable evidence that the event, as we've all heard it told for decades, ever actually happened. So this leaves us with two totally different mysteries. The legend asks us to look for some outside force, right? Something strange, maybe even paranormal. But history, the actual record, forces us to look at the story itself. Where did it even come from? How did it grow and change to include all those specific, chilling details? It seems the real mystery here is about the incredible power of a good story. And in the end, that is the true mystery of Angikuni Lake. We're left holding a story that is so powerful, so vivid, it feels real. But when you hold it up to the cold, hard light of the historical record, it just evaporates. And it forces us to ask a really fundamental question. Where is the line between history and myth? And you have to wonder, how many other stories that we think are true are just powerful legends waiting for someone to check the archives?